Some stories feel almost impossible. They're about journeys that start in the most humble of places and end up reaching unbelievable heights. We're going to dive into one of those stories today. How simple routines and truly immense dreams can launch a life into orbit.
I mean, really think about this question. It sounds like something out of a folktale, doesn't it? How on earth does a young boy who's up before the sun delivering newspapers just to help his family eventually become the President of India? Well, that's the exact journey we're about to explore. Every great story, every incredible journey starts with a single moment, a spark. And for this story, we have to go all the way back to a young boy's dream.
Okay, so let's set the scene. We're in Rameshwaram, a small, quiet town, and it's here that we meet a boy named Abdul Kalam. He wasn't the loudest kid, not at all. He was quiet, but he had this deep curiosity about everything, and he was already filled with dreams that felt way bigger than his small-town world.
His daily life was really a story of two different worlds. On one hand, you have this incredible discipline, waking up before dawn, helping his family, working his newspaper route. His feet were firmly on the ground. But his mind was already up there, soaring among the clouds and the stars.
And then it happened. One of those moments you can literally point to in someone's life and say, that's where it all started. For young Abdul, it was just a normal day at school, but it would end up being the launch pad for his entire future.
His science teacher took the class out and launched a small model rocket. Whoosh! It shot up into the sky. And as Abdul watched it climb, this question just bubbled up inside him. A mix of total awe and a little bit of self-doubt. He turned to his teacher and asked, "Sir, will I ever be able to do this?"
And this, right here, shows you the power of a great teacher. He didn't just say, "Yeah, sure." He gave him a formula, a promise. He said, "With hard work and a pure heart, you can fly higher than this rocket." Wow. Those words, they basically became the fuel that powered a lifetime of ambition.
So the spark was lit. But a spark is just the beginning, right? Now comes the hard part. Let's look at how that dream was actually built into something real, something that could literally reach for the sky.
This timeline makes it look pretty straightforward, doesn't it? But that little line, years of study, that's where the real struggle was. This part of his life was filled with challenges and rejections. He narrowly missed his dream of becoming a fighter pilot, a disappointment that almost broke him. But he didn't give up. That grit, that perseverance led him right to the heart of India's space program, ISRO, and to a moment that would change history, the launch of the Rohini 1 satellite.
And just like that, the dream that started with a tiny model rocket had scaled up, big time. It wasn't just a wish anymore. It was a real satellite orbiting the Earth. It was this glorious, tangible reality that he helped create.
You'd think that would be the pinnacle of a career, right? But his story was far from over. In fact, he was about to reach the highest office in the entire country, but he was going to do it without ever forgetting that quiet, curious boy he once was.
His brilliant scientific mind became a national treasure. He led India's missile programs with such incredible success that people started calling him the Missile Man of India. This was about more than just technology. It was about national pride. And that commitment to his country would lead him to a place he probably never ever imagined as a boy on those sandy streets. The year is 2002, and Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam is chosen as the President of India. Just think about that for a second. From newspaper boy to president, the trajectory is just absolutely breathtaking. And this right here, this gets to the very core of who he was. He was this amazing paradox. On one side, you have the missile man, a leader with immense power and scientific genius, and on the other, you have the humble boy from Rameshwaram, a man who, even as president, was famous for his simplicity and kindness. He was both at the same time, and that's why an entire nation fell in love with him. So, when you look back at a life this remarkable, what's the ultimate legacy? It's not just in the rockets or the presidency. No, it's in the powerful message that he left behind for every single one of us. He became a genuine hero, especially for young people. In his later years, he spent so much of his time with students, and he always came with a powerful message, a philosophy he'd built from his own incredible life experiences. And here it is. This is the heart of his belief system. It's so simple, but it is so profound. Dream, dream, dream. Dreams transform into thoughts, and thoughts result in action. You see, he wasn't just telling people to make a wish. He was giving them a blueprint for success.
Okay, so let's break this down. It's a 3-step formula. Step 1, dream. You have to have the courage to imagine something better, something bigger. Step 2, think. You can't just leave it as a daydream, you have to focus on it, turn it into a real, solid idea. And finally, step 3, the most important one, act. You have to put in the work to make it happen. Dream, think, act. That's it.
Ultimately, his life and his words are this incredibly powerful reminder for all of us. They prove that it just doesn't matter where you start from. Your background does not have to define your future. With the right vision and a whole lot of hard work, no dream is too big.
So, as we wrap up this look at the incredible flight of Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam, I'm going to leave you with a question, one that's inspired by his legacy. Take a look at your own life, your own ambitions. What dream will you turn into action?